latest is that both Bradley Beal and Kevin Love will need to be replaced on the roster. Jeremy Grant is in quarantine, and Middleton, Booker, and Holiday are playing in the finals right now. Jalen, they have to replace at least 2 spots. Who and how do you think they should do so?
So Middleton, Booker, and Holiday, the first 2 guys, and I could be wrong, win or lose after a compressed 72-game season and playing in the NBA Finals, knowing that the season's going to start in October, I wouldn't be surprised if D-Book and Middleton opt out. I didn't put Drew Holiday in that category because I know his wife is an Olympic athlete, so there may be something extra special going on with him wanting to be a part of that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he followed suit with the other 2 guys. As it relates to the guys dropping out, they had a chance to go after Trae Young, for example, right? I saw his post about Isaiah Thomas, the legend bad boy, not making the team. And his post was basically, I didn't make the team because it wasn't because I wasn't good enough.
I fit the criteria.
Reminiscent of Isaiah should have been on the original Dream Team. So because of his ascension and his play in the playoffs this year, Trae Young will be on the next roster going forward. And the guy overseeing it, Grant Hill, I'm pretty sure going to make sure who's a part owner of the Hawks, and rightfully so. But for this year's team, some of the names getting thrown out there, they can definitely use some shooting. Other than Trae Young, the best catch and shoot, other than Klay Thompson, the best catch and shoot guy the last couple of years has been the Miami Heat's Duncan Robinson. My fellow Michigan Wolverine, he may get a call. What about Christian Wood? I had you watching Pistons games 70 through 80, so we can hopefully get to know Christian Woods, and then we lost him. And then we lost him.
Jalen, you know who I
How
think
about
needs
your
to be on
guy,
this team?
Julius Randle of the Knicks.
Julius Randle needs to be on this team after the season that he had. He needs to be on this team, not just because he can help bring home the gold. That means he can recruit free agents for the Knicks. We all know how this works. We know how Team USA works. You build bonds. You have little conversations like, hey, wouldn't it be nice if you joined me in the Knicks colors and we played an MSG together? That is one of the reasons that I want to see Julius Randle on this team, in addition to the fact that he gets buckets and can bring home a gold.
But also, you want the ascension of young players rewarded. So I'm glad Giannis is in the finals and he re-signed with the Bucks prior to the year and get rewarded. I'm seeing Devin Booker get rewarded. In this year's playoffs, Trae Young, the way he led the team. Julius Randle, the way he led his team. It would be awesome to see those 2 guys from the Eastern Conference in particular get rewarded.
Absolutely. Now, we have a new coach in Dallas. It is Jason Kidd, and he spoke about Luka and KP playing together, specifically KP, and here is what the new coach, Jason Kidd, had to say.
He's healthy, right? This isn't a time where he's coming off an injury. I think he's really excited about this opportunity. I think he's a perfect fit for Luka. I think he's excited. He's ready to work. And I think you're going to see a different KP.
Well, we heard about some tension in the locker room between these 2. We heard about some grumblings that KP wasn't happy with his role. Do you think that everything's all good and this is a perfect fit, just like Coach Kidd said?
Styles make fights, and if you intimately watch the Dallas Mavs play, you can tell that KP and Luka just don't have the kind of connection that you and I have. How about that? Now, basketball-wise, their skill sets, like Jason Kidd said, do fit to a T. But here's what happens when a player ascends so fast the way Luka did. He went from being like an all-star level player to like one of the elite all-NBA caliber players. And so when you play alongside that guy, now you got to get in where you fit in, not the other way around. So KP in the bubble was crushing it. 30-plus points, playing like a unicorn. But when you're in and out of the lineup, and then Luka ascends the way he does, you ain't gonna now take the ball out of his hands and say, hey, slow it down. Less shots for Hardaway. No minutes for Brunson. And change everything because you don't know if he's going to be in and out. We need Finney Smith for his defense. Like, you start to build your roster and your team. So now you can't just be like, oh, okay, let's post up Porzingis 8 times a game and take the ball out of Luka's hands. It just didn't work like that. So now with a new coach and a new system, I anticipate these guys having more cohesion on the floor, and they're going to start to look more like a dynamic duo than we anticipated.
I mean, I loved it when this duo formed because it feels like they have complementary skill sets. KP was a unicorn when he was in New York because he was hitting deep threes, blocking shots, and getting some of those post-ups, but it just hasn't materialized the way that we expected to or wanted it to. We'll see if Jason Kidd can unlock this duo. Is Dame Lillard on the move from Portland? There are some rumors. We'll tell you exactly what they are right after this. You're watching Jalen Jacoby. Don't want to.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for Ayton. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
In my opinion, the best block of all time. Obviously we're a little biased.
I say excuse my language, but it was one of those moments.
I thought I was going to get dunked on, to be honest with you.
It's about as impressive as you can get.
Chris Paul falls down and lost the ball. Middleton inside, he banks it home. The NBA Finals are tied at 2 games apiece. It's a best of 3 now.
Good day. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on a Feel Good Friday. Getting you set for the weekend. That is Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. I'm Molly Karen Rose. I like the beats. Fellas, we ready to do this? Let's go. A pivotal Game 5 in Phoenix.
Okay.
No? Okay. All right. The series all knotted up at 2 apiece. Both teams defending home court Milwaukee with the momentum winning the last 2 thanks to huge games from Giannis and Chris Middleton. Stephen A., is this a must-win for the Suns?
Oh, I absolutely believe that to be the case because here's the deal. Milwaukee is winning Game 6. Milwaukee is winning Game 6 in that environment at the Fiserv Forum. If the Milwaukee Bucks win Game 5 Saturday night, their fans in Milwaukee will be celebrating an NBA championship for the first time since the 70s come Tuesday night. They're winning Game 6. They're not losing Game 5. So if you're the Phoenix Suns, you have to definitely treat Game 5 like it's a Game 7 because I don't believe they're winning a Game 6 back in Milwaukee. Not with that crowd, not with Giannis, who still isn't 100%, by the way, playing the way that he's playing, not how Middleton performs at home, and not with attrition having kicked in against CP3. CP3, I think that he'll have 2 damn good games out of 3. I don't think it'll be a good game, Game 6. I think Booker could potentially have 3 big games, but at least 2. I don't think it'll be Game 6. I think Game 6 is going to belong to the Milwaukee Bucks, which means the Phoenix Suns got home court advantage for a reason. They better win Game 5.
I don't feel that way. I think it's a pretty damn good idea to win type game, but I wouldn't call it a must-win, Stephen A., because I just watched the Phoenix Suns. Like, even with Chris Paul turning the ball over and all that, I just watched them take them to the brink in Game 4. It took one of the greatest plays in the history of basketball, right? And Chris Paul turning the ball over and Middleton going bananas at the end to squeak out a win in Game 4. Why am I to believe that the Suns are incapable of winning Game 6? I have a legitimate question for you, Stephen A., because you've been covering this series. You've been in Phoenix. You've been in Milwaukee. And I'm not talking about the Deer District, right? I get that whole kind of area might be an advantage. I'm talking about in the arena. Do you notice a better home court advantage in terms of the fans for the Bucks than the Suns?
I got to tell you, I thought that no one was even on Phoenix's level, to believe it or not, until I went to Milwaukee. I mean, it's all they have, Max. Green Bay's 2 hours away. I mean, the Brewers, I mean, but, you know, I mean, they'll think about the Brewers, you know, as the summer progresses. It's all they have. And to see them be this close to a championship, this crowd in Milwaukee is something special.
It's better than Phoenix's. Is it better than Phoenix's home court?
I'm not going to say better than, but it's on that level.
Okay,
it's on that level, Max.
That's what I thought, because when you watch Phoenix, at least on TV, it's like, whoa, that's a home crowd, that's a home court advantage. And that's my point. You're right about Game 6. That's a tough spot for the Suns to be in if they lose Game 5, have to do that in front of that crowd in Milwaukee. But the same can be said for this Game 5. You know, like if I see the Bucks able to overcome the home court advantage of the Suns, and I just saw the Suns come within a whisker of doing that to the Bucks in Game 4, well, I already know that one team can win on the other's home court, and I already know one team can take the other team to the wire. I wouldn't say that the Suns are incapable of winning in Milwaukee.